Hey guys, how's it going and welcome to a new video. So I just quickly wanted to say that this is my link to my league in the fantasy football, so please get on in and join it. I'll also leave the link to the fantasy league that I use, but without any further ado, here are my 10 top budget players. So to start things off, I'm going to look at two goalkeepers. For starters, we've got Foster at West Brom. He's only 4.5 million, and the way West Brom play, they park the bus and they don't do much attacking. So defensively, they may not be the best, but realistically they go into a lot of games defending. Foster's points to match ratio was actually really good last year, but because of injury he didn't play very much. So if he had played all the games, he would have had a very competitive score. Also, let's not forget you get a point for every 3 saves, and playing in a team like West Brom, you know he's going to make a lot of saves. My second budget goalkeeper is Butland for Stoke at 5 million. The thing is with goalkeepers this year, the difference between the high-end goalies and the bottom-end goalies isn't that much difference in price, but 5 million for Butland I definitely think is worth it. We know Stoke's set up to defend, we know they've got a good defensive record, and Butland is one of the top goalkeepers in the league this year. He makes a lot of saves for Stoke, and he's definitely worth thinking about. My next 3 players are defenders. I've got Huth and Morgan in at Leicester at 5 million. I'm kind of classing them as the same player. They both play for Leicester, they both cost 5 million, and they're both goal scoring centre backs. We know Leicester did really well in the league last year, and if they kick off this year like they ended last year, there's no reason these two can't be really good budget defenders. They both score goals from corners with ease, and if you're looking for a cheap defender, they're definitely going to be up a lot of people's teams. My second defender is Peters at Stoke for 4.5 million. Like I said, Stoke set up very defensively a lot of the time, and Peters at 4.5 million played 35 out of 38 games for Stoke last season. My third defender is Van Aanholt for Sunderland at 5 million. The downside for Van Aanholt is that because he plays for Sunderland, there's questions of how they're going to set up defensively next season. Now that Sam Allardyce is gone, they were very defensive. If they become more attacking, Sunderland may concede more goals. But Van Aanholt was one of the most chance-creating defenders of all of last season, so when he's chipping in with assists and the odd goal, and then along with potential clean sheets, he's going to be bringing in a lot of points. Moving on to midfielders, we start off with Bolasie and Townsend. Again, I'm classing them as one player because they both play for Crystal Palace. Bolasie is 6 million, Townsend is 6.5. Bolasie started off last season really well and got a bit of a name for himself, but as the season went on, he kind of petered out. Almost the exact opposite for Townsend, who did nothing at the start of last season and did a lot for Newcastle at the end of it. They're both pacey, attacking wingers who are going to be crossing the ball in, creating chances and scoring goals. My second midfielder is Jordan Ibe at 5.5 million. I'm surprised he actually came in that cheap. Obviously he didn't do much at Liverpool, and when he wasn't getting a game, that is probably why the price was so low. But Bournemouth have just bought him, presumably going to play him every game. To be honest, he's a bit of an unknown talent. No one knows if he's going to go there and score goals, no one knows if he's going to go there and do nothing. But if he goes there, plays every game out on the wing, and Bournemouth get off to a good start, he could be a very cheap, easy way to make points in your team. My third midfielder is Mark Noble from West Ham at 6.5 million. Again, it's 6.5 million is not necessarily budget when you look at the likes of Ibe for 5.5, but with midfielders like De Bruyne costing up to 10 million, Noble can be definitely a worthy asset. We've seen by his points from last year that he gets a lot of assists and does pop in a few goals for West Ham. He also plays the majority of games and usually takes the penalties, so when you've got a player playing every single game, taking penalties, shoving in assists and goals, he's the kind of player that you want to have in your team every week on the hope that he will add to that tally again. To finish us off with my 9th and 10th player, we have 2 forwards, starting off with Shane Long. At 6.5 million, the Southampton man is definitely worth a look at. Last season we didn't see a huge amount of Shane Long due to the fact that Pelle was their head striker, but he's recently been sold, and the 2 strikers that Southampton have are Long and Charlie Austin, which means that Long is looking to get a starting place in the team. Southampton are still looking to bring in new strikers, so don't shove Shane Long in and just forget about the fact they may bring someone new in, but If he is going to be starting every game for Southampton, it's 6.5 million. We've seen what he can do off the bench, and if you can create that in a starting position, then you could easily rack up the points. My 10th and final player is Andy Carroll. It's 6.5 million. Again, when you're looking at players like Harry Kane, Aguero, Ibra, they are almost double the price of this guy. And fair enough, they may be worth that extra money, but with Andy Carroll coming back from injury and scoring a lot of goals at the end of last season in very few games, let's not forget that Payet also plays for West Ham, and with him crossing the ball in for Andy Carroll, putting it on a plate for him, there's no reason why he can't get a bag full of goals this season. Guys, I hope this video has helped, and if you do use any of my players or agree with some of them, maybe you've got some ideas of your own, make sure to let me know in the comments. Again, please do join my league, but thank you for watching, and I'll catch you later. So you're probably looking at that team now and thinking, that looks pretty bad, and it doesn't look amazing. I'm going to make some changes in the next week, but with the next bits and tips and tricks, hopefully it'll explain why it looks a bit rubbish. But hopefully might not be as bad as it seems.